It is Tuesday today. It's Tuesday morning, and it's a beautiful day outside. I mean, I say it's beautiful, it's quite chilly, but it's sunny. Oh, thank God, there's sunshine. So I hope that you are all well. And so today I'm continuing working on that door, because as I'm sitting here now, I'm just getting ready to post a video work that involves faux paneling on a door, which sounds very ambitious, which it is. And I've started doing it. It's going to be very basic version of it, but I've started doing it, and I'm a little concerned. It's giving me Amy Sedaris vibes. Are any of you familiar with Amy Sedaris? So Amy Sedaris, in case you're not, is a New Yorker, and I think she lives in Brooklyn, and she's the sister of David Sedaris, who I literally just discovered a few years ago. In fact, I don't know if any of you remember, but in one of my videos, I'm in a bookshop in Sherborne. It's not a huge bookshop, but it's not a tiny bookshop either, you know. It's quite big, and there are obviously so many books on display, and Alice and I went into the bookshop together, but very independently. So we entered the bookshop together and we just wandered around looking at books, which is, I just always think, one of the most enjoyable things in the world. In fact, it's one of the things I actually miss about London, just the enormous bookshops that they have there. Anyway, so we were in this bookshop and probably mooching around for 15 minutes, and then we sort of bumped into one another, and we were both holding the same book. And the book was not a new release because it was a paperback, but it was David Sedaris's Calypso, which has I was looking for it to show you, but it has like a kind of a strange faux wooden cover, and it's called Calypso, and it's just his diaries from a certain period, but quite relatively recently. Anyway, so his sister, I think I found this on YouTube again, lives in this apartment, which is kind of like a cartoon. It's just so interesting. I mean, they're such a fascinating family, and I love his writing. Yeah, I think there are a lot of siblings as well, and I think high degrees of dysfunction, which I can certainly relate to. But so her apartment is really loco. I will link it actually, just in case you're interested, but it is very cartoon-like. And so I feel like my my door panels are going to be quite cartoon-like. And as I look at it, I think, well, actually, I quite like that. But we will see, because I'm going to, after I've stopped recording this, I'm going to show you what I've done, just so that you can see for yourself. But yeah, so I think that it's funny. But she has this amazing rabbit in her apartment, which could well still be alive now, because rabbits, let me tell you, they live forever. Those bad boys, they live forever. Because if any of you are younger, you have young children, and they're saying, oh, mummy, let's get a baby rabbit. Don't do it. Go hamster all the way. Hamsters 2-3 years tops. Rabbit, you're looking at 12 years. My kids, I swear to God, lost interest in the rabbits in the car on the way home from the pet shop. And then you've got a long haul, you know, of cleaning them out. And I always feel so wretched about rabbits in cages, and I worry about them in the cold. But my brother actually is absolutely brilliant. So he would be like a sort of, he'd be like a priory for all the animals that got either too complicated or too much for us, and he would take them, and he was absolutely brilliant. So he's had guinea pigs, rabbits. Did he have the kittens? Yes, because I got kittens once. This makes me sound like a very irresponsible person with animals. I'm truly not, but just to explain about the kittens, I always had cats and dogs and goodness knows what else growing up. And I was always fine, but I developed an allergy. So I got these 2 kittens years and years ago. In fact, it was when my first 2 daughters were little. And they had to go because the allergy, you feel assaulted by it. But anyway, so my brother took them. I love my brother. He's just brilliant. He's really, he's done so well, really, because we both came from the same place, but he's just got this incredible nuclear family unit, which is a great achievement. And my nieces are, wonderful young people. So I'm full of admiration for him. But anyway, back to Amy Sedaris and her bunny. So I also had a house rabbit. So she has a house rabbit, but hers is enormous. I kind of feel like it must be a Flemish giant because it's like this. It's just a beast. And she talks about this rabbit and she says that it's house trained. I don't buy it. My rabbit was never house trained. This was before I had children. They chew through everything. It's just a nightmare. But anyway, maybe her bunny is house trained. But you can see, she talks about the blankets, that it's nibbled and all of this. But yeah, it's just it's a really fun thing. She's just such an interesting character, and I like her very much. Sorry, it's messaging me again. Isn't that weird? So I'm going to be doing the door, and I'm actually going to the cinema this evening with my neighbour Wendy, and we're going to go and see the new Bridget Jones film, which has just had such good reviews, and I think we're all quite nostalgic for Bridget Jones, maybe for different reasons. I just liked the humour. The first film I thought was great, the humour in it. I can't really remember the subsequent film or films after that, but I'm quite interested in this new one. I want to show you something actually that my neighbour gave me. Hang on. So as a thank you for looking after her house, she gave me this beautiful piece of coral. And when she first gave it to me, because I went over to her house for a drink, and by the way, she was so brilliant about the plant. I told her about the dead plant or the dying plant when I picked her up. And I just told, just so you know, it's really unwell. And she said, oh my goodness, if that's the only thing that went wrong while I was away, or if that's the only thing I needed to worry about, then that's really great. So she was lovely about it. Anyway, so when she gave me this, I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I looked at it and I just thought, oh, it's really beautiful. And then I found my glasses and I put my glasses on, and it is absolutely exquisite. I don't know if you can see, but in these little holes, there's like a sort of almost like webbing, like a spider's web inside each one, but also coral. And I love the colour of it and the shape. And first of all, I thought, oh, I'm going to put that in my bathroom, because I'm just doing some stuff to my bathroom actually to make it nice, and I want to show you. But then I thought, no, that I want this on my coffee table, because it's just the most beautiful thing. And I was just so touched that she gave that to me. So I will cherish that. And actually, we're going to go to the opera in April together, so I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know very much about opera. I remember the father of my children 5 and 6. I remember really in the early stages of going out with him, I mean literally weeks into it, I remember going to his flat and he was cooking paella actually, because he'd lived in Spain for quite a while, and Madame Butterfly was playing, and I just remember it was just really lovely, really lovely. And I'm quite pleased that I'm getting to an age in life where I can look back and I can see and sort of appreciate the nice things, because I think sometimes in order to survive in life you have to almost cut all of those things off and you just move, or I do anyway. I have a very scorched earth policy, which I don't think serves me well. And so just very recently I remembered that, and I remembered how wonderful that was. It was just a nice thing. It's just a nice time in life. It's been lovely chatting, and I'm going to try and do something interesting for you to enjoy. I have now masked off the bits that I want to paint, obviously with masking tape, which takes a lot of time and patience. Now, if I was going to do this really correctly, I would now do another one just like that. But I'm not going to, because I don't think that I will even be able to get them straight enough to do super straight lines. So I think I'm going to have a straight line on the inside, on the outer edges, but the inner edges I think are going to be free. Anyway, that's the theory right now. I have grave concerns about this project, but it's a quick project and I like that, because I've spent so many years doing DIY, but this is just a little quick thing, so we shall see. So this is the shadow. So these bits here are the shadow, and which are drying, and then I'm going to put in the light, so we shall see. But it's kind of interesting. It's impossible to tell right now, but can you see it's kind of interesting? I like the relationship with the picture up there, all of it really. I mean, it's certainly not going to be one of those things where you look at it and you think, oh, is that door actually panelled? You're not going to think that, but maybe because I don't have the technical know-how to create a trompe-l'oeil, you know, I just don't. So maybe this way is a good way. It's not pretending to be something, or it's not trying to be something that I cannot accomplish, because that's where I always fall down doing anything like this. I have this, you know, practically a Michelangelo in my head, and then it's a stick man. So anyway, so we shall see. Can I just say, lovely neighbours are just the business. Wendy's just popped round, so we're going to the cinema later. I just want to show you, I'm just so touched with flowers. I don't know what this is for, but I think just because I'm taking her to the cinema tonight or something. But it's, look, and there's a new patisserie in Sherburn. I haven't opened this. Oh my goodness. And so she brought me these. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my god. Can I just say, I love lemon tart. And is that meringue? Yes it is. Oh. And what is that? That's like a little what's that gateau called? Black Forest. It's really, that's very, very kind. Okay, so here is a classic example of me cutting corners and annoying myself. So if you can see here, I've now taped this up. So this is the light. And I knew as I was painting this on, it's actually setting plaster, that it was too light. But I didn't have a darker paint with me, and I thought, oh, I'm going to put it on anyway. But I know that it's too light. It needs to be a darker colour, even though it's the light bit, it needs to be darker. So now I'm really irritated with myself, but I'm about to go to the cinema, so I'm going to see if I can find a slightly darker paint. In fact, what I might do, I've got some of this paint, so I might mix that in with some of that and see how that works out. So I'm just in the car and waiting for lovely Wendy to arrive, because we're going to the cinema, and I'm going to try and do a little bit of videoing, just because I always think it's nice to go on journeys with people. But Wendy, I mean, weirdly, I've told Wendy while she was away, I messaged her, I said, oh, I've started a YouTube channel, but she didn't follow up on it, which is very unlike her, which makes me think that Wendy is also a person who doesn't really do YouTube, or because have you not found that when you tell people about something you're watching on YouTube, or you just ask them, do you watch YouTube? There's that pause and they try to like
I mean, it's happened to me a lot. If you tell people you're starting a YouTube channel, you get very, very different responses, and a lot of people literally just, well, often they'll say, one of the first things they'll say is, oh, what are you doing it on? As if I'm like training people how to rewire a plug. Or it will just be a sort of a, oh, great, you know, as if you're just completely delusional and what are you even doing? And it's not in a horrible way. Like, people have tried to be really supportive, but watching their struggle to find the right phrases is sometimes just a joy. I mean, it's actually really funny, but yeah, it is weird. YouTube is, and it makes me, am I the freak? Are we the freaks? Or are they the freaks? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's the second biggest search engine on the planet. So let's start with that. Like this, it's a big thing. It's a huge resource. Why are people not more interested in it? Whatever you're interested in, you're going to find it on YouTube. Anyway, I don't want Wendy to arrive when I'm literally mid-flow in an animated conversation with myself, as far as she's concerned. So I'm gonna stop, but I will try and just film just a little bit. And yeah, it's just it's so nice when you can do things like this with a neighbour. You know, are you free tonight? Do you want to go to the cinema? Yeah, it's just, I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, hopefully I will be back. I have popcorn, I have snacks. I have the whole thing, because I don't go to the cinema very often. When I go, I need to have all the gear. Although I also have those cakes now that Wendy bought earlier. So that's a lot of sugar in the house. So I'm going to have to work out what I'm going to do about the situation. But I was not prepared to forego the popcorn, salt and sweet. No. Anyway, I will be back. I'm actually back in my garden because I couldn't video with Wendy, although she wouldn't have minded. I told her about YouTube, and I retold her, and she's yeah, she's gonna watch. But anyway, yeah, the film was sweet. It's, you know, it was Bridget Jones, kind of unchanged, 30 years on, or however long it is. Obviously, that's not realistic, but it's not meant to be real life. It's fantasy, and it was very sweet, and I liked it. Anyway, I will see you soon. So today is Wednesday, and as you can see, it's quite a gruesome day out there. Quite grim in here as well, but only for more practical reasons, just because the pink that I painted, knowing it was too light, is indeed too light. So I've got a Farrow & Ball Picture Gallery red and an old sample pot of cream. So we are going to, well, I am going to mix it up and then paint it on, and then we will see what that looks like. So interesting, because you see here, it looks like a sort of a muddy salmon colour. When painted on the door, it comes across very peach-like, which is not particularly pleasant. But I'm going with it now because I'm committed. And also, if I don't complete this task, it will stay like that, complete with you know, masking tape hanging off of it forever. So I'm going ahead, but it is interesting how colour changes vastly according to the light, or mainly what it's next to, what other colours are nearby. Because this, you can see it is quite a muddy colour. I actually really like it. But on the door, it's coming as a sort of more saccharine peach. But we will see, to be continued. Quince, can I have my bank statement back, please? Quincy, she says, I protect you. I protect you. I'm just out and about, just doing some errands really, but I wanted you to see how this river comes up. Look at that. We just had a bit of rain and it gets ferocious, honestly, because normally it's just this little teeny tiny thing. And look, you can see the water gushing under there. It's pretty impressive, but also stunning. Come on, Prince, what do you think? Come on, darling. Let's go. Actually really quite mild today. So I'm just out with this little one. Where is she? There she is. Where's little Quince? Quince, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. It's like this, when I first moved to this area, used to freak me out in a big way. But I've lived here now for 5 years. There's never once been a bull in the field. So it's a trick. Look at this sunshine. Poor little Quince. She's now caked in mud. Because she's a low girl. Very, very low to the ground. Give us your little handstand wee-wees, Quince. She says, do you mind? I'd like to privacy. Okay. Look. Oh, isn't this lovely? And this field up here is literally covered in daisies in the summer, or really early summer. It's so beautiful, and I love it. Good, should we go home? Should we go home, darling? Oh, there's literally, it's so slippery. I've got to get myself some boots with more tread because I fear that this there's another look. Do you see? Look, Quince, look, she shows that some. She said, look, you just need to have really, really short legs, and actually lots of them, one on each corner, and then you can navigate this kind of terrain. Anyway, okay, here we go. Here we go. Must have really rained in the night because this is yeah, this is super buggy. Anyway, here we go. Home sweet home. Come on, let's go home, Quince, and have some tea. Not for you, but I'm going to have tea. Because this is a wonky line and I don't think that's it. Also, this line here is thicker than that line there. So now I'm going to, now that this is dry, I'm going to tape up the blue and repaint that. And then as far as I'm concerned, that's it. Because tolerance levels are actually quite low now. So yeah, so it's an interesting experiment anyway. I just wanted to show you those, hang on, I need to make myself shush. I just wanted to show you those branches. I put them back up on the table behind the sofa, and then I found what I was looking for before, the green little pretty kind of flower things. It's quite cute, isn't it? And then this is the horror of editing. Look at that. Okay, so I finished the painting, but I haven't put on the wax yet. But can I just say, I'm not hating this. I am really not hating this at all. I know it's crude, I know it is, but look, there is an illusion. It's an optical illusion of panelling on a door. I'm pretty pleased. I'll show you up close and you can see how crude it is. Look. You see, it's just, you know, it's I have to say, although it's crude, it took a long time because you keep having to perfect bits. You know, oh, you know, for example, look, there's still a pencil, so really I should do that, you know, put some more pink along that edge, but I think I'm reaching the point now where it's enough. But look, so now I'm thinking, I'm pretty happy with that. There's a couple of bits of grey that just need to be done, and then I'm going to let it all dry. Well, it is basically dry, but the grey bit's dry, and then I'm going to put the wax on. And I might actually, because I've never been a fan of this gold door handle, so I might actually do something to change that, because I've got this little trick. Right, well, I delude myself into thinking I create a blackened brass look. It's probably nothing like, but it's yeah, it's a sort of a poor version, but yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased. You having a little snack, darling? She says, yeah, some lovely sweet grass. It's gorgeous.
official. Spring is springing. Look. Isn't that lovely? And look at that. Look how tiny. So back to the door, which I do, again, I think it's okay. So I can't find the brush for this, and I don't think it matters because you only really need the brush if you have undulations that you need to get into. I don't have undulations on this door, although it looks like I have. Let's see, so this will just kind of like, you just sort of slap it on like this. You probably, can you see? Yeah. But already you probably, no, you can't really see, but already, and remember it hasn't dried, but it just gives it like just this lovely patina of kind of beige. I know that I mentioned that I was going to do something with this door handle, and I am, but I will do that in another vlog because I just haven't had time to do it, and it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to get the wax on, and yeah, so I'm quite pleased. In fact, this is my third attempt at filming this because I'm so overwhelmed I keep messing it up. But so basically, to start at the beginning, I'm going into work today, which was unexpected. We've had loads of deliveries and it's madness. You can barely get into the shop for boxes, so it's kind of a mercy mission really. And but yesterday, Nikki and I, Nikki the manager at Rose and Eyes, we were messaging one another just about work, and then she left me a voice message about 3:30 yesterday, and I Quincy, no barking, darling. And so I was editing at the time, and I didn't listen to the voice message straight away. It's about an hour and a half later, because I just assumed that it was just about, more work stuff, and therefore non-urgent. And anyways, when I listened to the message, which was about, 5:15 yesterday, Nikki said that one of you, had called the shop to ask her to please let me know that she has left a gift for me at Castle Carey Antiques. And yeah, I'm just completely overwhelmed, and yeah, I mean, I kind of don't have any words. I just incredibly, that's such a thoughtful, lovely and incredibly exciting thing. So so I'm just filming this now, and then I'm gonna zoom to the shop in Castle Carey, and then I'll have to go straight on to work. I won't be able to film, and in fact I might have to put it into the next vlog just because of timing and editing and working there. But I just want you to know how appreciative I am, and how I don't know what it is. I'm so excited, and it's really just incredibly touching and thoughtful. And I also really just wanted to thank all of you. This has absolutely given me a new lease of life. I can't pretend, and why would I want to pretend anything else? It just totally, it just totally has. And I think that you're enjoying it too, and so it's just one of those serendipitous things that it just works for all of us. And I really hope that that I can sustain it, and it works because I would love nothing more. Anyway, I'm going to stop going on. My outfit for today is, it was a Lolly's Laundry that I got in the sale. I don't know why on earth I'm wearing a summer dress. Well, it's kind of like an autumn spring dress because it's kind of cheesecloth, but it's quite thick cheesecloth. But what I like about it, I like these, it's cute, isn't it? Anyway, so I have my thermals on underneath. Anyway, just thank you. Thank you. Oh, and to the person, but also to all of you, I've done a little thank you that I've just filmed it just now, and it will be at the end of this vlog, so thank you.
One more thing I just wanted to say, because I was editing yesterday, I looked at the bit about Amy Sedaris. Just want to say, Amy Sedaris, so much more than just David Sedaris' sister. She's a writer, she's a comedian, all round thoroughly interesting person. So I don't want to be reductive and reduce someone to sibling status, because that's just hideous. Next thing I'm torturing myself about is that I was talking about the Sedaris family again, and how there are many children, high degrees of dysfunction, and I can relate to that, which might make you think I was talking about my children. I wasn't talking about my children. I was talking who are all incredibly heroic people, because they survived me having me as a mother, but I was talking about my own childhood. Just wanted to be clear about that. I've even written myself a list here. I've said children not dysfunctional, Amy Sedaris, writer and comedian. And then the final thing was just read the cakes in case you're on the edge of your seats, not about those cakes that Wendy gave me. I ate them. And I'm unrepentant, because I think it's not often that you get given beautiful patisserie cakes. And I think when you get given something like that, just enjoy it and do without the chocolate biscuits. Anyway, I don't want to start talking about food, but you know what I mean. You have to sort of choose your vices or choose your moments. And I feel like doing it that way is maybe more, I don't know, French. Anyway, thank you.